Hi, this is your host, Jeff Ragavin, and you're listening to Marketing Mix, where we hear from some of the most influential CMOs of today to discuss the strategies of tomorrow. Welcome to Marketing Mix. Joining me today is Tina Sharkey, co-founder at Brandless. Tina, it's awesome to have you on the show today.
It's so fantastic to be here. My only disappointment is that we're not sitting together.
Exactly. Well, we're on both sides of the coast right now, right? So, Tina, I think the last time I saw you was probably a good maybe decade ago or so.
At Baby Center.
Baby Center, yeah. Long time.
It is a long time. So many good things have been happening, so can't wait to fill you in.
Yeah, so you've been very busy the last few years, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the show. So let's open it up first. Give us the story around Brandless and a little bit about the mission and the why.
So we started Brandless with the intention of really trying to sort of objectively do things in a new and different way. We felt like there was a better way to build a company. There was a better way to have shared values, to build something truly for profit and for purpose. There was a better way to give access to, broadly speaking, goodness, but we started with the things you reach for every day because we felt like better didn't need to cost more and that we could try to better everything for everyone, starting with the things you reach for every day. But it was born from the idea that we were seeing so much rejection of governments, rejection of institutions. I mean, people didn't want to elect their parents president. So rejection of brands, rejection of institutions, rejection of so many things. And the numbers suggested that not only did millennials not want to buy the products they grew up with, but air quotes, perennials, people who would have a modern lifestyle, they were shifting their consumption and behavior habits as well. So we said, well, wait a second. If people are rejecting brands, if people feel like they've lost trust in institutions, which supersets brands, but maybe even governments and agencies, if people are changing their habits and they're trying to change the things that they reach for every day that are part of what I would call a modern life, then could we build something that is rooted in truth, trust, and transparency? Could we reimagine what it means to be a brand, not one that is a trust mark because we say so, but one that becomes a trust mark because it's built alongside the community that it's there to serve? And could we be in a direct relationship with those people? And could we take some of the costs out of all of the unnecessary markups that are forcing better items, whether they're organic or non-GMO or sustainable, whether they are higher quality because of the way that they're sourced or the way they're manufactured. And those are getting premium pricing, therefore making them inaccessible to most people in the market. Could we actually use that filter across everything and build a community that curates these items for you? And so it was almost like taking this very broad view, if you were to kind of take the helicopter up, right, and look across culture, society, consumption, brands, media, fulfillment, manufacturing, and say, is there a better way? Because we believe that we can build a new kind of company and one that's built alongside the community it was imagined to serve. And with that, the idea of Brandless was born, and it was built to support modern life.
Got it. And now you guys have something like over 300 products, right?
Actually, we just busted through 500. We launched 21 months ago. We launched with 110 products, all across the everyday essentials categories, but ranging from pantry staples to snack, to kitchen and home office, and then clean beauty. Now we span over 500 products. We'll probably be at 800 by the end of 2019. And again, we're continuing. We just dropped a whole wellness collection 2 weeks ago. At the end of January, we created we've been working on it for 18 months, but we launched a whole earth-friendly baby collection of not only earth-friendly plant-based diapers, but also clean toiletries and organic baby foods and pouches and snacks. as well as a whole pet collection, not pet food, but protein for snacks, pet nutritionals, and pet accessories and pet toiletries, also clean. So that same intention. So those are the three major collections we've just launched, in addition to professional bakeware. And in the next few months, we're going to be launching many more.
It's amazing. And, I've gone through countless products and I've used a whole bunch of your products as well. And it's kind of amazing. The prices of all of your products are so great. I mean, they're like almost like too good to be true. Like, how is this price? And does that mean like, hey, when we're in the store and we're shopping traditional brands, like there's that much markup?
Yes, but it's not. I mean, in some cases, and I can't speak to how other retailers do it, but in some cases, the markup is all taken by one entity. But in most cases, it's a series of things. It's the wholesale by the time you go wholesale to retail, especially in the better market, there is distributor costs. Then there is the shelf stocking. Then there is the settlement and breakage. Then there is the marketing, the end capping. Then you have to get it to your house. So it's like many, many, many pieces and parts. And so at Brandless, we work with an incredible community of partners around the world that we curate and create these products. And then we ship them to our warehouse and we ship them to you. And so all of those intermediate markups, you're not paying.
I've noticed that you've been doing pop-ups because I've seen you on Facebook and Instagram. You're doing pop-ups in different cities. How are people responding to it?
So I'd say that we've done two. We did one in LA, and then we just did one in New York. And I would say that many of the people that came were people that were already, part of our community. Either they were getting our newsletters, or they were part of our Facebook or Instagram or Twitter groups, or they were buying the products. And many were, friends bring friends, or they were walking by and they heard about it and then they started to buy. And now they're part of, restocking their lives in a brandless way. So the biggest aha is that, and where we changed it a little bit from LA to New York, which is why you have to keep doing these things because you learn every time, is that people want to taste and try everything. And so in LA, we were almost overthinking it. We were making like gluten-free chicken waffles, and then people were like, "Whoa, can I just taste the organic olive oil? I just want to taste the organic tomato and basil pesto sauce." And we were like, producing these very magnificent recipes, and they just wanted to try. So when we went to New York, it was all about trial. We had what we called the Yummy Bar, where we did 4 different flights. One flight was organic tomato sauces and pastas. One flight was organic and vegan soups. One flight was organic salsas and organic chips. And one flight was non-GMO nut butters. And people were just trying, and we gave them tasting mats like you would get at a Napa wine tasting, and they were giving us their notes, and we collected thousands of tasting mat notes with feedback. We had a clean beauty bar where we were educating people on the 400 ingredients you don't want to have in your beauty products. No phthalates, no sulfates, no artificial anything, but then also cruelty-free, etc. But they were trying the creams and trying the lotions and trying the soaps and all of that. We had a 2-sided, probably at any given time, over 24 snacks were being tasted and tried. We had a fair trade coffee bar with all of our organic fair trade coffees, but we were educating people on what does it mean to be fair trade. So then we had a bamboo forest because our toilet tissue and facial tissues, we don't cut trees down. They're made from sugarcane and bamboo grasses. So we were using it as an opportunity to be immersive and really have people not only taste and try, but also understand the intentions behind the values and the curation and the selection of all the products. And then finally, and this was my favorite part by far, is we had an entire sort of kindness and intention stations, because at the end of the day, all of these products add up to the idea that Brandless wants to make sure that everyone that comes into our life, that is part of our community, both receives and scales and shares kindness. And so we had postcards to write to loved ones. We had gratitude tags where you could write what you're grateful for. And then we covered the banister. We had intention walls where people could write on the walls and set their intentions. And we put that up on a wall that was probably 30 feet long by, 10 feet high. And within the first hour, it was all filled up, and we had to take it down and do a new one so that people could fill it in. So just making the advance and the prompt to people that helping them think about themselves. And Brandless is meant to be more about you than it is about us. And so we don't have any false narrative at Brandless. We'll never tell you that our products are going to make you beautiful, because it's our assumption that you already are. And we're not going to tell you that our fair trade organic coffee is going to exhilarate you. You tell us how the coffee makes you feel. We're just going to tell you, we're going to be transparent and say, look, this is, a light roast or a medium roast or a dark roast. This is organic. It's fair trade. And it's Brandless. And Brandless at that point becomes an attribute to say, you tell us what you want to say. You share this with your friends and how it makes you feel. We're not going to put false narrative into this, because we understand that what you say and what you share with your friends is more important than anything we could ever say. So we're just going to be transparent with the facts. And as you and I are both, soulmates in the creation of digital and enabling products, we created a UI and UX for every single Brandless package so that you always know where to look for the most important attributes. And then you can go online and look at the back of a label. Then you can read about the backstory. We have a glossary of terms to tell you what these various things mean. And then you can engage in conversation on our communities. And most importantly, if you are creating content, whether that's a recipe, whether that's a hack of different ways to use things, share that with us, and then we'll share it back with our community. And so that connection, that sort of bolstering of making everyone in our community feel welcome, everyone feels seen, and spotlighting people who are doing not only good and interesting things with the products, but more importantly, good and interesting things in the world is in the DNA of what it means to be Brandless.
So, Tina, is the Brandless narrative really a bi-directional conversation with your consumers?
I would say tri-directional, because bi-directional would suggest that they talk to us and we talk to them. But tri-directional would suggest that they talk to us, we talk to them, they talk to each other. And the they talking to each other is the most exciting part of what it means to be Brandless.
So when we're talking about, Brandless and your company, it sounds like this is really built around community. It's kind of a very interesting standpoint as a company, and also all the stuff you're doing around purpose as well. I've been talking to a ton of brands that have started off predominantly in the DTC world. And now they're coming out with stores, and they're actually going to brick and mortar second instead of first. And when I think about the pop-ups that you guys are doing and this, huge community that is really taking part of the vision of the company, it sounds like these pop-ups you've done are just so successful. I'm sure the thought has crossed your minds about actual retail space.
Yeah, I would say that that'll be a natural outgrowth. But what I think is more important for us right now is to continue to express all the various categories that we feel we're curating of your modern life. Our community is asking us for things, and so we're building it to honor their requests. And so I feel like we're going to continue to play with what I call IRL, which is in real life. And that might be a pop-up, that might be a meetup, that might be an event, all kinds of things. Might be a festival one day on the roadmap to physical places and spaces, because we want to get farther along in expressing the various categories that we feel are that modern expression of the ways in which people want to live and the things, the curated things they might want to buy and have access to at fair prices. And that when that, in theory, that would never be done, right? We'll be articulating all the various domains for time immemorial, but we have more to express in terms of the categories that we'll be entering. And so we probably want to get further along and then see how that, how that shapes out relative to what a physical footprint could look like. Because I do think it'll end up being a blend, cash and carry and showrooming, because there are certain things that we're doing like plates, and we do stoneware, we do porcelain, we do knives, we do all kinds of things you might not want to take with you because you might want to buy a dozen or so of any of those as you're stocking your homes. And there are other things like our organic or vegan or gluten-free snacks or clean beauty or clean personal care that you might just want to grab and go. So I think it'll be some sort of a hybrid, which is why we are learning how to think about manifesting that in physical places and spaces. But we've always had a lab in the office that has been a physical spot, not that you can purchase out of there, but it usually has a very robust representation of the shelves. And we're playing with that all the time. And anytime you walk into the lab, which is when you're next in San Francisco, come, because that is something that we're always restocking and playing with, how we go from virtual to real. And that's something that is almost, that's why I call it a lab, because we're always learning and we invite people in to come taste and try along with us.
Just from a company perspective, Brandless itself has actually become a pretty well-known brand, right? And you guys have like really cool colors and nice modern look, and it's all very consistent to your branding. Has that ever come up in as far as, limited your marketing freedoms because you actually are a brand?
Oh, we're unapologetically a brand. We're just imagining what it means to be one. And so we believe that, being in a direct consumer channel, or as you and I know, industry terminology, D2C, we don't believe that's a channel. We believe that's a relationship. And so we are a brand that's based on a deep and intimate relationship with the community that we serve, because we've built Brandless alongside of that community, because we want people to live more and brand less. And we want people to have their brands be self-expressions of themselves, not what we say. And so when you see that TM next to the white box on applesauce, of course, we don't own the trademark on applesauce. It's a wink to suggest that nobody, Mott's, Del Monte, nobody, they don't own applesauce. Applesauce owns applesauce. So the whole idea of Brandless is to suggest that who you are and what you share and how you live, that's your life. And we're here to share your stories, to amplify your insights, and to scale kindness and small tangible acts of that, starting with giving you access to these extraordinary things, starting with creating a UI and UX on every product that makes it simple and easy to understand the qualities of what we are and the attributes that you're looking for in that product. So you're not hunting and pecking and turning things over to try and find whether or not this is gluten-free or sugar-free or fair trade or cruelty-free, etc. And that if we can together build something that is shared and you tell us what it is that you want, we will try and curate and create those things at incredibly high quality and accessible pricing for those quality things. And then most importantly, we are trying to create something that is highly curated, that doesn't put the paradox of choice into your lap, because so many people are suffering from the anxiety of too much choice and the anxiety of too many decisions and the anxiety of too much information coming out at you. And if one of the things that we've heard over and over again from our community is that they find Brandless not only fun, but also like relaxing. It's easy. It's easy to find what you want. It's there's not a lot of choice. We've edited it down because our buyers and our merchandisers and our product development team, they've done such an extraordinary job, almost like editors, finding these things we know that you're going to want, need, and love, and not forcing you to have to sort through, 10,000 search results for a simple shampoo. When it comes to the paradox of choice, one of the values of Brandless is that curation that is there to serve the community, not only with the extraordinary products, but also with, in a way, liberating you from that process of having to choose.
Well, let's talk a little bit. We don't have a lot of time left, but I want to at least cover a big component of your business, which is obviously all around social impact. So is there a few that you could talk about that you guys are working really closely with? I know that when people actually buy products on Brandless, that you're donating all sorts of interesting things through different organizations.
The largest hunger relief organization in this country is called Feeding America. And they run the broadest network of food banks all across the country because 40 million people go hungry in this country every day. And then when there's disaster striking, whether it's hurricanes or tornadoes or fires, as we saw in Northern and Southern California, as we saw in Texas and Florida, they also rally for the extraordinary disaster relief in addition to the everyday hunger crisis. And so when you check out at Brandless, we partner with Feeding America and we donate a meal in your honor. On the 3rd of every month is Brandless Day. And on that day, we triple the give. In addition, we do things like on the International Women's Day. For that entire week, we decided we were going to donate 10,000 sanitary protection items to women who didn't have the means and access to those. And we told our community, if you check out and you use this promo code, we'll donate an additional one in your honor. And so by the end of the week, we had doubled the give to those women that didn't have access to sanitary protection items here in this country. And so there are so many different things that we do. We believe that Brandless itself, with the, as you suggested, the incredible quality and the accessible pricing, that in and of itself is a tangible act of kindness. And then we deploy, field guides to community life, where we'll give you a template for inviting friends to a food bank or access to a database of a food bank in your neighborhood to organize that with friends, or some infographics that you can put out and talking points around, what is the challenge in hunger in America? Because we want to start those conversations. We think those are really important conversations to have. So it's not just about that one give or that one organization. It's about the intention of trying to collectively, humbly make the world a little bit better, which we hope to do alongside the community we serve every day.
Amazing. Well, listen, you guys have done such amazing things in such a short period of time, and it's been super fun to watch you guys grow. And, I really look forward to seeing what you guys do next. And of course, really great to have you on the show. And it's great to reconnect.
Excellent. To be continued, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in to Marketing Mix. We hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Be sure to share and subscribe. Until next time, take care.